Hey everyone, before we dive in, here's something really cool. You're listening to an episode created almost entirely by AI. From the script to the voice, this is part of the AI Takeover series by Blockchain DXB, where we explore what's possible when humans hand over the mic to machines. There's little to no human involvement, and that's what makes this episode so powerful. Welcome to the future of content creation. Let's get into it. This episode is powered by Amana, the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. Whether you're looking to invest in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or MENA giants like Adinoc or Salik, Amana puts the financial market at your fingertips. You also get access to gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, and commodities. With over 375 assets to choose from, they've got the largest crypto selection in the region. And listen, guys, if you want to build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day and want to automate your investing, just set your monthly budget, choose your preferred categories, and let Amana do the rest. No fees, no lockups, and 100% customizable. Even better, funding your account is frictionless, and funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even your crypto wallet. No friction, no hassle. And if you get stuck, Amana offers 24/6 real human customer support and personalized sales assistance. Because you're part of the Blockchain DXB community, you get an exclusive offer. Register with the code BlockchainDXB and make at least one trade to receive a $100 trading bonus credited to your account the following month. So what are you waiting for? Download the Amana app now. The link and code are in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB is proud to be the official media partner for one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, the Blockchain Futurist Conference. For the first time ever, North America's leading crypto event is heading to the United States, taking place at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Alongside it is ETH Women, happening simultaneously. Expect multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, tech demos, metaverse experiences, and more, all under one roof. It's where the smartest minds in blockchain, crypto, and AI will converge. Get 25% off tickets by using the code DXB25. And yes, I'll be there with exclusive live coverage, behind-the-scenes interviews, and spotlight features on groundbreaking projects. Mark your calendars, November 5th and 6th, 2025. Visit futuristconference.com and use code DXB25. Link is in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB has two more interesting partnership news to announce. First up, with Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Blockchain DXB is an official media partner of Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Future Blockchain Summit is one of the biggest and oldest blockchain summit taking place in Dubai, going back to almost a decade, 2017 to be precise. The event takes place between October 12th to 15th at Dubai Harbour. This is where blockchain meets fintech to redefine the future of finance. 250 plus world-class speakers, 1,200 plus investors, live demos, product launches, and the exclusive invite-only GITEX Digital Assets Forum, all under one roof. From Web3 pioneers to fintech leaders shaping payments, banking, insurtech, AI, and DeFi, this event brings the entire ecosystem together. Startups, this is your launchpad. Get in front of top VCs, accelerators, and industry leaders. For blockchain and fintech companies, this is where connections turn into partnerships and dreams turn into exits. Register today at futureblockchainsummit.com. Don't just watch the future unfold, own your space in it. Remember, Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. The registration link is in the show notes below, and see you at Dubai Harbour. Second partnership news kicking off from today is with the leading Bitcoin event organizers on this planet. And this year, Bitcoin Asia is taking things to another level. Bitcoin Asia are hosting a massive gathering this August in Hong Kong, and Blockchain DXB is proud to be an official media partner of Bitcoin Asia 2025. Taking place this August in Hong Kong, Bitcoin Asia is the region's premier Bitcoin gathering, where builders, investors, and innovators meet. It's really an honor for Blockchain DXB to be associated with Bitcoin Asia. Now at this event, expect powerful keynotes, bold conversations, and a headlining session with none other than Eric Trump. He will be sharing his vision for Bitcoin's long-term potential, its role in global finance, and Asia's massive impact on adoption, and a lot more. So listen up, guys. From infrastructure to regulation, privacy tools to lightning development, Bitcoin Asia connects global Bitcoin communities and drives innovation across cultures and markets. And as part of this partnership, you can register for the Bitcoin Asia using the code DXB. All the details are in the show notes below. If Bitcoin's in your blood, this is your event. So, register today at asia.btc and don't forget to use code DXB for 10% off your tickets. Bitcoin Asia 2025, Hong Kong is calling. Be part of the future of Bitcoin. Next up, Advanced Media is the largest distributor of professional video, photography, cinema, and broadcast accessories in the Middle East. They represent over 100 major brands, including DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. The mic I'm using to record this? Sponsored by Advanced Media. But what really sets them apart is their commitment to purpose. People, planet, and prosperity. That's not just branding, it's their actual business model. They've partnered with SAE Institute in Dubai to offer scholarships to students pursuing a bachelor's degree in filmmaking, each worth AED 50,000. They also run regular workshops, training programs, and tech showcases across the region. For more info, visit amt.t, that's amt.tv. Finally, let's talk about something every crypto investor should take seriously: security. And that's where Ledger comes in. Ledger is one of the most trusted names in crypto security. Their hardware wallets, like the Nano S Plus and Nano X, keep your assets safe by storing your private keys offline. That means you're protected against hacks, malware, and phishing attempts that can compromise online wallets. The company is headquartered in Paris and is constantly innovating. Their team works with world-class security researchers and regularly tests their own products for vulnerabilities. It's why Ledger wallets are used by millions around the world. Using a hardware wallet isn't just smart, it's essential. If you're serious about crypto, it's time to stop relying on centralized exchanges or browser wallets. Click the link in the show notes to order your Ledger wallet and support this podcast at the same time.
Welcome to today's deep dive.
Glad to be here.
If you're listening to this, you're what we like to call the learner.
Exactly. The learner.
You know, you're curious, you value your time, and you want to get straight to the insights that actually matter.
We know you're busy.
Right. Whether you are prepping for a high-stakes strategy meeting or you're just insanely curious about the future of digital assets, we've custom-tailored this exploration exactly for you.
Yeah, and we have quite the stack of material today.
We really do. We're staring down this dense, honestly fascinating stack of notes and audio excerpts from a March 10th, 2026 industry update by Blockchain DXB.
It's a lot of complex moving parts in this one.
Exactly. And our mission today is to cut through all of that overwhelming noise.
Right. Bypass the dry market data.
Yeah, the political posturing, the dense tech jargon. We're extracting the vital aha moments. We're looking for those specific intersections where global money, personal privacy, and artificial intelligence are colliding right now.
All connected.
It really is. And joining me to connect all these disparate dots is the calm voice of reason, who always helps us see the bigger picture.
Well, I do my best.
Oh, and I see our studio's visual backdrop has already shifted to set the mood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's this sprawling, interconnected digital cityscape with glowing data streams pulsing all around us. It feels incredibly fitting for where we're heading today.
It's the perfect visual for the landscape we're about to navigate. Because these aren't just isolated tech updates.
Right.
They represent the active construction of a new global infrastructure. And I'm really looking forward to breaking down exactly why these developments matter to you.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the absolute bleeding edge of the global crypto market. The global crypto market cap just crossed a massive psychological threshold.
A huge one.
It moved past the $100 billion mark. It's actually currently sitting at $124 billion.
Yeah, that's a serious jump.
And Bitcoin itself is seeing a marginal pump. It's currently priced at $68,779.
Which is up, what, about 4%?
4.21% over a 24-hour period, yeah. Even though it's technically down over the 7-day window. But, what caught my eye isn't just the price tag.
It's the sentiment.
Exactly, the shift in market sentiment. For months, the entire space just seemed paralyzed in this state of extreme fear.
Right.
But today, it finally thawed slightly. It moved up to just fear, hitting a metric value of 22. So what is driving that psychological shift right now?
What's fascinating here is the catalyst behind that shift.
Well,
I mean, it isn't some random technical indicator or a sudden burst of retail optimism.
right, it's a macro event.
Exactly. It's about tomorrow, Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. At 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics is releasing the Consumer Price Index.
The critical inflation report.
Precisely. What we're seeing is how high net worth individuals, the whales of the market, are actively positioning themselves ahead of this macroeconomic data.
So they're bracing for impact?
They are. They're anticipating significant volatility based on the inflation trends under the current U.S. administration. They know a CPI report can instantly influence broader market trends, literally shifting millions of dollars in a matter of seconds.
See, it's basically the anticipation game. People are placing their bets right before the roulette wheel stops spinning.
That's a great way to put it.
But while we're looking at where the money is moving, we also really need to look at how it's moving. Because I was looking at the numbers for decentralized exchanges, the DEXs, and there's a massive anomaly.
The volume drop.
Yeah. Platforms like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Pump, Aerodrome, and Orca, their volume just seems incredibly low right now. What is going on there?
You're absolutely right to flag that. The market dominance of those decentralized exchanges has dropped to a 2-year low. It's sitting at just 14.36%.
Wow.
We're talking about only $5.98 billion in volume and a super meager $51.68 million in fees across all those platforms combined.
That's wild. It makes me think of a decentralized exchange right now as a beautiful but entirely empty shopping mall.
I love that.
The architecture is gorgeous, the lights are on, the music is playing, but nobody is swiping their credit cards at the cash register.
Right, the retail shoppers just aren't there.
Meanwhile, out back on the loading docks, stablecoins are proving to be the actual engine of the economy. You've got Tether's volume nearing the $100 billion mark.
Sitting at 93.05 billion specifically.
Exactly. And Circle's USDC is sitting strong at $13.63 billion. So if nobody is trading on these decentralized exchanges, why is the total value locked, the TVL, sitting at a massive $96.78 billion?
That is the multi-billion-dollar question, and your empty shopping mall analogy is actually the perfect way to understand it.
How so?
Despite the low day-to-day trading volume, the TVL is up because businesses and major institutions aren't just day trading and flipping tokens anymore. They're buying up proof-of-stake tokens, locking them into the network, and becoming validators.
Okay, let me stop you there. For the listener trying to build a macro strategy, why lock up capital if the trading volume is totally dead?
Because of the yield and the long-term infrastructure play, they're investing in the underlying security of the network rather than just playing the casino.
Oh, I see.
By staking their tokens, they earn a predictable percentage return for helping validate transactions.
Huh.
Institutions look at that $96.78 billion in locked value, and they see a maturing market.
They're buying the real estate.
Exactly. They are buying the real estate itself, securing the foundation of the digital economy, knowing that when the retail volume eventually returns to the mall, they own the rails it runs on.
Buying the real estate, not just shopping at the stores. I love that. Now, speaking of the rules that govern all this new real estate, let's pivot to a major regulatory update.
The Treasury Report.
Yes, tied to the Genius Act. The U.S. Department of the Treasury just delivered a very comprehensive report to Congress regarding illicit finance and digital assets.
This is a critical document. And what really stands out is the deep nuance the Treasury is applying here.
Yeah, they're finally digging into the specifics.
They are. The report makes a very sharp, crucial distinction between privacy and anonymity.
Which people mix up all the time.
Constantly. In mainstream conversations, those two words are used interchangeably. But legally and functionally, they are entirely different beasts. The report defines anonymity as being fundamentally untraceable or unidentifiable.
Like wearing a mask.
Right. This is the dark forest. It's the space frequently exploited by illicit actors for money laundering, dodging sanctions, ransomware payouts, and facilitating threats from entities like the DPRK.
Right. And the government is understandably cracking down there. But wait, I want to push back on this a bit for our listener.
Sure, go ahead.
If tools like crypto mixers are inherently designed to obfuscate tracking, how can the government realistically allow them for privacy without also enabling that exact same anonymity for criminals?
And that is the exact friction point regulators are wrestling with. But the Treasury report actually acknowledges that privacy, which is the ability to control exactly what information is shared and with whom, is a valid lawful need.
Like everyday corporate privacy.
Exactly. Lawful citizens and corporations legitimately utilize these tools to protect sensitive information. Imagine a business paying its suppliers. They really don't want their competitors to see their exact cash flow on a public blockchain.
No, of course not. That's just basic business security.
Or consider high net worth individuals safeguarding personal wealth from bad actors. Or someone making charitable donations to a sensitive cause without wanting to make their entire financial history public.
So it's the difference between wearing a ski mask into a bank, which is anonymity, versus putting your financial documents in a sealed envelope, which is privacy.
That's a brilliant way to phrase it, yes. And this ties perfectly into a listener Q&A segment from that Blockchain DXB audio. Someone asked whether governments should prioritize financial transparency or individual privacy when regulating digital assets.
And the discussion circled around a pretty fascinating concept, didn't it? Optional transparency.
Optional transparency, yes.
How does that actually work in practice?
This raises an important question for you to consider as we move further into this digital age. How do we build systems that protect the individual without enabling the criminal?
That's the core issue.
The answer lies in advanced cryptography. Specifically, a protocol mentioned in the update called the Panther protocol. It utilizes something called zero-knowledge proofs. For anyone prepping for a strategy meeting right now, that is the technical term to watch.
Okay, let's break that down for us. What is a zero-knowledge proof in plain English?
Imagine you need to prove you're over 21 to get into a venue.
Okay.
But you don't want the bouncer to know your exact birth date, your name, or your home address. A zero-knowledge proof is a mathematical way to definitively prove to the bouncer that the statement "I am over 21" is completely true, without revealing a single other piece of underlying data.
That is mind-bending, but so useful.
In the context of the Panther protocol, transactions remain completely private to the general public by default. However, the user retains the cryptographic keys. If law enforcement comes knocking with a warrant, the user has the power to suddenly open the books and provide verifiable compliance data.
Like know your customer and anti-money laundering data.
Exactly.
Privacy by default, transparency by choice. That is a massive paradigm shift. Now, looking at the political landscape in these notes, and just to be completely clear to you listening, this is a critical note.
Yes, very important.
We are strictly analyzing the policy data here to understand the regulatory environment. We are exploring these political figures strictly as they appear in the sources. We are absolutely not taking sides or endorsing any political viewpoints, parties, or individuals, whether left-wing or right-wing.
You are strictly impartial here.
Totally impartial.
Right.
So with that context, it's wild how this piece of code has become such a partisan issue. Let's look at the UK. Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform UK and a potential future prime minister, has become a massive advocate for Bitcoin.
And the catalyst was entirely political. His personal bank accounts were closed.
Right.
The debanking phenomenon really pushed him to educate himself on decentralized money.
Huh.
And he isn't just talking about it anymore.
He's making moves. Fast forward to this week, and he has invested £215,000 to acquire a 6.3% stake in a London-listed company called Stack BTC.
Which is fascinating.
It is. This company holds 21 Bitcoin in its treasury and is actually chaired by former UK Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng. The stated goal here is aggressive. They want to turn the UK into a global crypto hub.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we're seeing a parallel trend playing out across the Atlantic in the United States.
In Florida, right.
Yes. Governor Ron DeSantis is actively reviewing Senate Bill 314.
Which passed unanimously, by the way.
It did. And it would explicitly define stablecoins as monetary value under state anti-money laundering laws. This is deliberately aligning with the federal oversight rules of the Genius Act.
So what really stands out globally is this growing ideological split in the data. Right-leaning administrations and politicians seem to be trending toward favoring open, decentralized cryptocurrencies, while left-leaning administrations are focusing their efforts much more heavily on central bank digital currencies or CBDCs.
It highlights how foundational the question of financial control has become. CBDCs offer governments immense efficiency and oversight.
Complete visibility.
Exactly. While open cryptos offer users censorship resistance. But while the politicians debate the philosophy of the rules, the massive financial institutions are quietly building the actual bridges.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Our notes detail an absolute blockbuster partnership. Payword, which is the parent company of the Kraken exchange, is officially partnering with NASDAQ.
It's a massive convergence of traditional finance and decentralized technology.
It's huge. They are building a gateway using something called XT stocks. The goal is to seamlessly connect heavily regulated traditional equity markets with permissionless decentralized DeFi networks.
And they're not just starting from scratch.
No, the notes point out that Kraken's token equity product has already quietly handled over $25 billion in transactions. And this new NASDAQ equity token framework is expected to launch in the first half of 2027. But I really want to dig into the mechanics of this. How does an XT stock actually bridge Wall Street and the blockchain?
Think of an XT stock as a digital wrapper around a traditional share of a company. When you buy an Apple or Tesla share on NASDAQ right now, it takes time to settle.
T+1, right?
Right. And the market closes at 4:00 p.m. Plus, you have layers of brokers and clearinghouses involved.
It's a very analog system underneath it all.
Exactly. What Kraken and NASDAQ are building allows that heavily regulated stock to be tokenized. Once it's an XT stock, it can move freely on a decentralized blockchain.
Which means it can trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, settling instantly.
Instantly. For you listening, this is the institutional validation that the industry has been waiting for. When NASDAQ gets involved to this degree, providing the regulatory framework while Kraken handles the permissionless settlement layer, it signals that the experimental phase of digital assets is over. The integration phase has well and truly begun.
Tokenized stocks moving instantly around the globe. It's just an incredible structural shift in finance. So we have this invisible financial infrastructure being built in the West. But if we shift our geographic focus to the Middle East, we see physical data gathering infrastructure being laid down at a blistering pace.
It's a completely different kind of build-out.
It really is. In fact, our studio backdrop just morphed from glowing financial tickers into this stunning blend of a futuristic desert cityscape woven with pulsing AI neural networks.
The Middle East is aggressively positioning itself at the forefront of artificial intelligence integration. And what's fascinating is how they are applying it to both hyperlocal community problems and massive geopolitical strategies.
Let's start with the hyperlocal, because the first example from Dubai municipality is surprisingly heartwarming but brilliant. They've launched the Asan stations.
Right, the feeding stations.
Yeah, it's a network of 12 smart AI-powered feeding stations designed specifically to care for stray animals. 10 of these are located in public parks and 2 are in holding facilities.
And while the compassion behind the initiative is commendable, as an analyst, what stands out to me is the urban data collection occurring beneath the surface. This isn't just a fancy food dispenser. It is a highly sophisticated data node.
How so? I mean, it's feeding cats and dogs, right?
It is, but the AI uses advanced computer vision to automatically identify the specific stray animals approaching the station.
Oh, wow.
It tracks them. It then releases food in a strictly controlled, organized manner tailored to the animal. For urban planners, this solves multiple problems at once.
It prevents the hygiene issues and pest attractions that come with random public feeding.
Exactly, which reduces waste. Furthermore, it integrates directly with broader municipal environmental initiatives.
Right. The notes mention it pairs with the Fountains of Mercy project, which is installing 50 water fountains across the city, and it integrates deeply with the city's Trap Neuter Return programs, the TNR programs.
This is where it gets really smart.
So the AI is literally identifying which animals have been neutered, tracking their health over time, and helping maintain urban biodiversity and public health.
It's using cutting-edge computer vision to systematically solve a day-to-day community issue. But then, if we zoom out from a park in Dubai, we see a massive macro-level AI play happening next door in Saudi Arabia.
A global cloud communications platform called InfoBip has just launched a massive new AI and digital tech data center right inside the kingdom.
And this brings up a phrase that feels incredibly weighty: data sovereignty.
Why does it matter where the physical server sits if everything is in the cloud anyway? I'm sure our listener is wondering that.
This raises an important question about geopolitical leverage. Data sovereignty is arguably the most important tech issue of the decade. By building this infrastructure locally, Saudi Arabia ensures that complex AI workloads run natively within the country, rather than being routed to servers in Europe or the US.
Which, on a technical level, vastly reduces latency.
Yes, things like AI chatbots, automated customer service platforms, and national messaging systems will respond instantly.
Sure, faster tech is always better, but building massive data centers in the desert isn't just about shaving milliseconds off a chatbot's response time.
Precisely. The critical point is security and compliance. Data sovereignty ensures that highly sensitive information from government operations, major financial institutions, healthcare networks, and large corporations never legally or physically leaves national borders.
Because if your data is processed on a server in another country, it's technically subject to that country's laws and subpoenas.
Exactly. By hosting it locally, Saudi Arabia completely insulates its domestic data from foreign jurisdiction. This local infrastructure aligns perfectly with the country's long-term digital transformation strategy, Saudi Vision 2030.
In a world of geopolitical uncertainty, owning the physical servers that hold your AI's brain isn't just an upgrade, it's a strategic national necessity.
Absolutely.
So what does this all mean? When we take a step back and look at this massive stack of notes, what is the grand takeaway for you, the learner?
It all comes back to the foundation.
We've talked about market whales holding their breath for tomorrow's CPI inflation data. We've navigated the very delicate legal dance between lawful privacy and illicit anonymity. We've watched politicians maneuver around crypto legislation while massive institutions like Kraken and NASDAQ build bridges for tokenized stocks.
And we've marveled at AI systems gathering urban data in Dubai while massive data centers secure national sovereignty in Saudi Arabia.
The common thread here is infrastructure. The digital rails of the future. Whether they're carrying 24-hour equities, private financial data, or localized AI processing, are being aggressively laid down right now. Corporations, politicians, and technologists aren't just theorizing anymore, they are pouring the concrete.
And before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over, building directly on the connections we've made today.
Lay it on us.
We talked earlier about the Panther protocol and the concept of optional transparency, using zero-knowledge proofs to keep data completely private but instantly mathematically verifiable.
Right.
And we just talked about NASDAQ building a blockchain gateway for tokenized equities that trade 24/7.
Yes, the XT stocks.
If we combine those two realities, could we soon see a world where traditional stock market insider trading becomes mathematically impossible to hide?
Oh, wow.
Imagine an AI algorithm perhaps running natively on one of those sovereign data centers in the Middle East that instantly audits anonymous zero-knowledge proofs on a public ledger.
It wouldn't need to know who you are to verify that a massive options trade was executed by an illicit insider.
Exactly. It could effectively catch market manipulation, flag the transaction, and freeze the settlement before the opening bell even rings on Wall Street.
Now that is a wild and incredibly plausible future to imagine. Wall Street speed meets cryptographic certainty. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We deeply appreciate your curiosity and the time you spend with us. Keep asking the hard questions, keep looking at the data around you, and we will be right here next time to help you make sense of it all. Until then, take care.